right behind me and up in your bitch is where you might find me playing that G thing. She want the nigga with the biggest nut. Then guess what? He is I and I.
Martin, what's going on, T. Martin? Welcome.
Name.
We're gonna be going over some really good stuff today. Where you calling in from, Martin? Hold just 1 second. T. Martin, what's going on?
How you doing, boss?
Pleasure is all mine. Where you calling in from?
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Nice. What is it like out there right now?
It's beautiful.
Okay, I've never been out there. I haven't been out there yet. I haven't been out there. How long have you lived there?
Since 1987.
Oh, you seasoned. You've been there for a while.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm in Houston, Texas right now.
Okay.
So it was a sunny day, but when is it not sunny in Houston, right?
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna be touching on some beautiful, amazing things today. Just so like I can be aware, just so that I make sure that I'm presenting to you the right bit of information, right? Um, where are you right now as far as like, do you own a business currently? Are you pursuing a business? Where are you on that aspect?
Just well, I'm just interested in seeing how what you have to offer, but I would be more so interested in business funding. Either space though, business or personal.
Yeah. iPhone, what's going on, iPhone? I don't know who that is, but Cheryl L. Hayes, how are you doing? Welcome to the weekly webinar where I give out huge gems. Don't be afraid. You guys can say hi. Speak up.
And I'd like to set them up for success. So
Hey,
we're
Cheryl.
in the process of firing Dr. Porter.
Where you calling in from, Cheryl?
Oliver about members appointment. Charlie cannot be here.
Okay, from Iowa. We have Iowa in the building. iPhone. Who's iPhone?
Well, I hired Charlie.
Marley G, I came to see what you had going on.
What's up? Who's that?
This Brian Davis.
My guy, B, what's going on?
Everything
And
is
you're
well.
you're in California right now?
Arizona.
Oh, Arizona.
I did.
Okay. Cheryl, if you mind just filling me in, do you currently own a business or are you thinking of owning a business?
I must have not missed it by too much because the washing machine was still running hard.
I don't know if Cheryl hears me.
Oh,
Yes, several businesses. Okay. We have a serial entrepreneur in the room. Serial entrepreneur, right? That's safe to say. So I had some bit of surprises here for today, right? And of course, I'm going to be dropping some extreme valuable information here. But we'll see if one of that person decides to drop in here, right? He was supposed to come in, but we'll see. But I may bring him up later on, right? But today I want to start talking about giving you guys the easy 4-step system to get yourself funded, right? And okay, so we got 3 stores, Cheryl. That's good. I'm just gonna meet you there, Cheryl. All right. Now, how many people in here may possibly think that they need credit repair services? Hopefully I can say that correct. Nilfany. Is that correct? Am I saying that correct?
Yeah, Nilfani.
Oh, Nilfani. Okay, pleasure to have you in the building, Nilfani.
I
Where you calling
appreciate that.
from?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. So we have people from all around the world here, right? Well, not the world, but just the United States, right? And I think that we all probably came here because we have common goals, right? Is that fair to say? You guys can, if you want to chime in, because this is a small knit group that I keep these events with, right? Feel free to jump in and chime in and ask questions because it makes it a lot more fun when we all partake, right? And it also allows me to be able to know exactly where you guys are at so that I can tailor this to you guys, right? Because funding is in a sense you want to approach this in a strategic way, right? So, Martin, you mentioned to me that you want to just be able to understand the whole side of funding. Cheryl, you have multiple businesses, right? Um, Martin, just give me a bit of talk to me a bit about your values. Just a quick 2 minute point of view of your values. What matters to you the most in your business or just in your life's goal?
Well, this is me. You talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I deal with a lot of people and just looking to help people gain access to capital more so. Uh, Trying to leverage. I have four businesses as well, and just being able to have access to capital in the time of need. I think we're in a time now where I think it's going to be really important for us to be able to have access. So when it comes down to it, we'll have it, whether we need it or not. So that's why
Okay.
I'm just trying to look at trying to see how do we as a community, how do we galvanize these resources so we'll have them in a time of need.
So I like what you said right there, right? Like in this time, you think it's important to know where to get the capital, right?
Correct.
Why would you say like, around specifically now this time?
Well, I just think the way the economy is going, I just think as a community, I think education is going to be big, educating people on making sure that they can pay their bills on time, keep their credit clean, so that way we will have access to capital during this. I don't want to call it a recession, but depending on where you are, you can consider a recession. But I want to try to remain as recession proof as possible.
Okay. So you're basically in a focus to make sure that hey, you're in a recession proof position so that you never run out of capital. You always know how to get it, and now it's important to have it right now more than anything else, any other time, right?
Yep, that is correct.
All right, Nafani, tell me a bit about like what's of value to you. What's important to you?
As far as importance, what do you mean exactly? Like in life or
Yeah,
opportunities?
yeah, we can just simply put it as life, right? Like what are your core values that you think that's important in personal and relation to business?
Okay. Okay, so as it relates to business, I would say whatever it is that you do, or even things that I do for me, for instance, my background, I kind of specialize in trading and investing. Looking to get my security licenses and just kind of get into wealth management and things like that, but also taking advantage of certain opportunities out here. Um, but I would say values, if you're in business, just doing right by people, whether you're doing products or services, um,
Okay.
and making sure you're just doing whatever it is that you're doing to the best of your abilities. I kind of like what Martin was saying earlier, as far as like the line of business that he's in. He's just looking to serve people, and I think that's
Right.
important in business. And just kind of taking advantage of opportunities. You know, if that makes sense. I don't know if I really answered
Okay.
your question.
Cheryl, I'm a challenge you out here, Cheryl. Someone that works with you that's not going to screw you over. Okay. We're to high customer service and providing what the customer needs. Okay, so high retention focus on the customer. iPhone, tell me a bit about your values and what's important to you.
I think in the business world, I think right now it's more important than ever just to have a relationship. The market's oversaturated. So many people doing the same thing. And I think to just be different, you gotta be a little bit intimate more with your clients. And that's one thing for me. I want to feel like my business is valued. And I think that comes with just being building a relationship with your clientele.
Okay, wonderful. Now, I think that we all touched on some really, really good points, right? And the reason why I asked you your values in the beginning is because the values become the core purpose in any mission that you want to accomplish for your business and even in your personal, right? So let's just say someone that may have grown up without a parent, they may become that best parent, right? Someone who did not grow up in a home, their goal may be to acquire a home, right? Some of you may have seen entrepreneurs when you were growing up or business owners, and now you strive to be that business owner, right? And when we start to think, I'm going to challenge all of our mind states here, right? And I want us to start to think in a way that's completely against the entire grain of what we were systematically taught from the beginning of our inception here on this earth, right? What I mean by that, it's that the system of education, the system of following a scholastic approach versus, right, like at one point in time, everyone glorified to say, all right, well, we need to go to school. You have to go follow what the professor is teaching you. And most of the times that professor isn't even actually in that actual field, right? So then when we really start to peel back on those things is that, well, if our true goals in life is to be successful, we have to start to think like retrain our mind, because most people would wake up and get comfortable with the idea of going to a 9 to 5. How many people here have experienced or seen or even been tired of being caught up in a rat race of a 9 to 5? Don't all jump in at one time now.
I feel like there's no way to have a 9 to 5 and not dream. And if you're not dreaming during that 9 to 5, you're not living. You're selling yourself short.
Right, right. And I feel the same way, right? Because here's how I'm going to challenge the mind, right? Most successful people, they may have started out with a business partner. That's what I'm going to call a 9 to 5, a business partner. You utilize them for that time period. But true success isn't formed by staying in that position, right? I'm going to challenge the mind frame for you guys to start to think and to realize that it's easy to make a lot of money, but it's hard to make a little bit of money. I'm going to say that again. It's easy to make a lot of money, but it's hard to make a little bit of money. Now, how do we position ourselves in that position to say, well, how do we make a lot of money, right? You guys on here have businesses already, right? So you may already have a product or you may have a service in your business, right? So you see the difference, right, of a product that is sold for less versus a product that's sold for more, right? And the scale and the growth of just that product being able to sell for more, right? Are you with me? I want you guys to interact with me here. Are you with me here? Okay, just so true, so true. Okay, I appreciate that, right? Because the average, let's just say the average American these days make 60 to 70,000. I think it's around there somewhere, right? That's what the average American makes, right? I'm here to challenge your mind frame to have you guys think against the grain, because You guys already are millionaires. You just haven't put the focus on it as yet. You guys are already successful in your businesses, right? Or even if you're not successful in your business, that same business that you've been operating for multiple years, you can put that on a digital platform. Example, here we are right now, right? Or even the internet. Automate that process. Position yourself as a coach. The same product that you may have serviced or sold for many years, a long time, you can then put that in a different medium, a different form, a different outlet, right? And grow and scale 100% faster on automations, on systems. I may be ahead of myself right now by talking, but hopefully you guys are walking with me. Are you here with me? Right? Thank you, Martin. So how do we start to reframe, retrain the entire mind? Because to attain wealth starts with reprogramming our mind. Reprogramming our mind. Now, today I'm going to touch on a vehicle that can allow us to get there by the knowledge and just knowing how to acquire income. I'm going to give you guys a skill set in 4 steps. A 4-step system. I call this my 4-step capital positioning system. There's little details inside of each of those 4 steps, but I want you guys to, I'm going to turn you guys into elite funding specialists or elite finance gurus, because many people go to work every day, even if they have a business. Most people are probably working 2 businesses and haven't taken the time to fully comprehend how money actually works. Since I've been in this entire funding space, the one sure thing that I've realized, that I've come to learn, and it's as simple as this: money has to make money. Are you with me? B, are you with me?
Paulie. I hear you, Jabal.
Money has to make money. See, now some people, when they do get that big payout or whatever, they are confused. The vanity, right? Like vanity is a sin, but they are focused on those vanity items that then take them in the wrong direction. But if we take the capital that we acquire, and I'm starting from the end and working my way to the front, because I think that I would be doing you guys a disservice if I teach you how to acquire 100 or 250,000 and not have your mind structured in a way that, hey, when I receive 250,000, that I'm not just going to blow it on something. Money has to make money. Now, when you break down those different forms, the money comes in different vehicles. The money comes in different vehicles. If you want, and I'm going to ask for some crowd participation here. You guys can come off of mute, right? So if you were to get money for a home, what is it called?
A mortgage.
Okay. If you were to refinance on that home to get more money, what is that called?
Either refi or a line of credit.
Yep. A HELOC, home equity line of credit, same thing, right? Every time you get that money, it costs to get that money, right? Now, what does that look like in a business sense, right? And this is a part where most people may tend to get confused, because most people may say, hey, well, I'm looking for a line of credit, and they may think that that's just a general, like that's a general term, but that's a specific vehicle on how money should be moved, right? So there's a line of credit, there's credit cards, right? There's revenue-based financing, right? There's alternative lending, there's traditional lending. Let's start by associating the two. Tommy, what's going on? Right? So when we start to think about the vehicles, I want you guys to recognize and to know, okay, well, a line of credit, what's different from a line of credit than a credit card? Does anyone know here?
Typically, you pay on what you use, and the rate could be different.
Yep, 100%. Right? So think of as a line of credit as capital, free cash that's there stored away for your free will to use, right? And you're only paying interest on the amount that you actually spend. That line of credit could increase as your business does better. As if your business does worse the following year, they could lower your line of credit, right? How is the line of credit determined? Right? Well, a line of credit is determined by your tax return, 15 to 20%. A good banker would get you 20%. I have a good banker that she gets it up to 20%, right? So we need to start to know, well, because people tend to come to companies and ask for just numbers and don't know what numbers they're asking for, right? It's like, oh, well, I want a line of credit for 100,000, right? And their business may only generate 200,000 a year. It doesn't make sense. And when you do that, right? When you do that, it shows the person on the other end who's doing the application for you that you're not familiar with money, right? So that's different from a credit card, because a credit card has annual percentage rates. Now, how do we get to acquire to the traditional side? Right? The traditional sides being the banks. Well, you should have at least a 680, preferably a 700 or more in credit scores. A 680 would get you there if your profile is built out correctly. Now, I want to hyper focus on the actual profile, right? Thank you, Cheryl, for the confirmation, right? Because the profile in itself is more important than the actual score. Because if someone has an 800 credit score with one credit card versus someone who has a 680 with 20 credit cards, an auto loan, a mortgage, who would you lend your money to?
The person with the most credit.
Nope. The person with that less score that has shown a history of multiple accounts being managed.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Hey, Len, what's going on, Len? Welcome to the party, Len. So let me give more clarity to that, right? Because the person who, it's like this. Well, you're showing that you've only been able to handle, let's call it $10,000 with one person versus you being able to manage 50,000 with 10 other people. Right? So now you're investing not just on a score, you're investing on someone's behavior, someone's habits, the way that they're managing money. I'm saying this in the order. Again, remember, I'm working back to the front because I want to put this in your mind frame, because when I give you the steps, I want you to feel the importance of the steps, right? So what happens if someone does not have that credit score or that profile? They 100% will get denied from the bank. Traditional funding would 100% deny them. Well, if I have a business, my credit isn't doing good, but I'm generating money, where would they go get money? Can someone voice that out? Where would they go?
Probably a higher money lender.
Okay. Good answer. So hard money lending would be more specifically on like properties, right? Those are just like people that invest specifically in that industry, in the real estate. Then you also have a sector of investors that specifically invest in businesses, and they invest on the future accounts receivables of those businesses. Are you guys walking with me? That area is known as the alternative lending. So there's two sides of it. There's the traditional lending, and then there's alternative lending. Well, if a business is generating whatever dollar amount per month, right? They can get funded if their credit is bad. Remember, they're going to be denied at the traditional banks. Right? They're going to be denied because their score isn't right. So then you have a complete different world, which is called alternative lending. Right? They get you funded based on your accounts receivable, meaning their future accounts. You're saying that, all right, well, my business is generating $20,000 per month. Well, okay, I am the lender. I'm going to see, well, based on your spending habits, how much your expenses is, how much room am I willing to invest in your business future accounts receivable? Are you guys walking with me here? I'll wait for an answer. You could talk. Are you guys walking with me here?
I'm here with you. I'm
Marley?
here with you.
Okay. I appreciate that. So that area is called revenue-based funding, right? And in that area, there's equipment financing, right? So let's say if you're a construction company, you need a bulldozer. Well, there's funding specifically for that equipment. It's called equipment financing, right? Now, when you guys start to get into the funding space, right, and I'm just going to put this out there, is that you want to be aware that as someone that's offering a equipment financing, that money does not go to the business owner. So business owners here, if you're saying, oh, well, I need equipment financing, know that, all right, well, you may not just only need equipment financing, because let's say you have a food truck business and your stove went out of, your stove stopped working, then yes, you need capital for that equipment. But what happens? Well, hey, my stove was down. Now I may need to pay another employee, because business kind of like, I need them to pick back up when we get this new stove, or maybe I want to get another truck, right? I need to hire another personnel. So then that counts as payroll. That's going to give you cash. That's going to give the business owner cash. Are you guys walking with me? I'm touching on the different vehicles in finance. Now, there's a beautiful sweet spot that most business owners want to get to, right? And sometimes they're not even fully aware of it, but they are, but they're not. At the same time, it's weird. It's called an SBA, right? An SBA loan. It's a government-backed loan, best rates, longest term, it's like taking out a mortgage for your business. That's exactly what it's like, right? But you have to be in a sweet spot for that. Some of those minimal things that you need is like, well, you need to have at least a 670 credit score, and you need to have some tax returns, right? There's more documentation. Well, all right, well, how fast can we get this SBA? Because it's a hot topic. Right now that Trump is in office, the limit on SBAs has increased. How much someone can get is like literally double the amount than what was prior. So we need to start to position ourselves in that position and learn how to capitalize off of the market and the times that we're in. Hopefully you guys are walking with me. Do you see what I'm saying? So when I talk about this four-step capital positioning system, I want you guys to get the value of, oh, am I positioning myself for traditional? Am I positioning myself for SBA? Or am I positioning myself for alternative lending? Are you with me? Okay. So let's touch on, well, I feel that it's only right I may start from the foundation. Because let me tell you, I deal with business owners that makes millions and millions of dollars. I don't care how successful anyone's business is here, right? If your credit isn't good, it doesn't matter. I just have to be truthful. So I'm going to start there on the credit side, right? Because I want you guys to see the value and know, all right, my credit is highly important. All right. So let me just get to, I'm just going to pull this up. I didn't even pull up my slides. I just got in the zone, which I was bumping out to some music. But as it loads, I just want to tell you what I think are just two valuable, extremely important things to know about your credit that may be overlooked by most entrepreneurs. Right? I'm just going to share my screen here. Let me see if I can share it. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So now I think we're cooking with gas, as the young Cub Scouts say. All right, that my joke was corny, but all right, freestyle with me here. All right. Let me just jump over here. So we want to talk about the personal credit foundation. And what is that? We want to know this important things: payment history, utilization. That's all I want you to focus on: payment history and utilization. Why? Because utilization takes up 35% of what makes up your credit score. What is utilization? Let's put this in simple terms, as if I'm teaching my 9-year-old son. If you have $100 limit on your card, you should think to yourself that, hey, I should only use 30% of this $100, meaning I only have $30 to spend. Trust me when I tell you this is so simple, but many people miss it, and this is why they end up having bad credit. I don't care how tough life gets. Do not go over your utilization. But why, Jamal? Why would I not go over? Because what's going to happen is that now your monthly payments and your interest is going to be more than your monthly payment. It's math. It's simple math. So from here on out, anyone that's in this group, I do not want it, no one here should ever overutilize their credit limit. One, you don't want to have extreme high interest payments, which on another end, I want to speak on is that there's two dates that is very important when it comes to your credit. That's your due date and the statement date. Does anyone know the difference? Feel free. Lynn, talk to me, Lynn. Lynn Wright, are you here with me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Can you tell me, if you don't know it, it's okay, but I just want to keep the interaction with everyone in the room. This is why I just called you out. What's the difference between, I'm sorry, can you explain the due date and a statement date?
So the due date is the date that your payment is actually due to be paid to the credit card company. The statement date, which typically follows the due date, is the date of the statement where they're going to send your balance out, whether it's got interest or charges that you've purchased or credits or anything like that that's going to show up on your credit card.
We are dealing with some high level individuals here. This is fantastic. I love this. Okay, I love this. So, hence, anytime that your statement date is due, if you can, pay off the balance by the statement date. It's self-explanatory. That's the day that they report the statements to the credit bureau. You guys with that? Payment history, that takes up 30%. 30%. 30%. 1 second. So if you ever realize that, hey, when you miss the payment, your scores can drop to 70, 80 points. That's because it takes up 30% of your actual profile. So those are some important things when it comes to just knowing how to manage. Remember, manage how you're going to manage all of your funds in future perspective. How many, I don't even know if I should have, I don't want anyone to feel any way. If someone is thinking, well, I need to build my credit, this is the way I would approach it, right? Is it okay that I give you guys 4 steps to improve your credit, or do you guys feel like you're okay on that aspect?
Give us non-traditional and traditional.
Non-traditional and traditional? What do you mean?
I might have misheard you, but I thought you said that you got funding opportunities built on just credit, and then you got funding opportunities built on just revenue. So if your credit sucks, then hey, you still got an opportunity if you're making money.
Yep. So I guess before we get to that, first I just want to ask the room, because I don't want to, again, I like to tailor this based on who's in the room, right? Because I want to make sure I'm giving out the right value, right? So is anyone in a position here where they're building their credit at the moment, where they feel that they need advice on what steps to do to build their credit?
I would like to hear some of it. I don't want you to skip completely over. If everybody else is okay with it, can you just hit some points that you think of emphasis and then move on? Because I don't have an 850 credit score. Okay. I don't have less than 30% utilization or 10 or 12 primary accounts, so I could always need some help.
Okay, fantastic. I appreciate that. So one thing that I would say is that most people forget that the easiest way to build credit is just by getting credit. You do not want to have more negative things reporting on your credit versus good. So let's say someone has 1 collection, well, then and no credit cards. Well, then your score is going to stay drastically low. But if you had 3 credit cards that was underutilized and you had 1 collection, well, then you're going to be like teetering in the middle. So you want to be able to have accounts set up so that you can, when I say accounts, I mean like credit cards, auto loans, mortgages, business loan, well, personal loans, right? Those are different accounts. So some accounts that I would just touch on that I think that helps everyone, and most of you may already be aware of these, but I'm just going to briefly touch on them. Self is a great one. This allows you to build credit by you taking out, not taking out, sorry, that's the wrong word. You would pay, let's say they have programs where it's like, well, this option may be 1,000 or 700. Let me just go to see if I can find pricing for you right now. Before I did this when I was like first starting out, right? So I only tell people things that I've actually done. Okay, it's just gonna take too long. So let's just say if you did with them the program for $750, then your monthly payments would be around $10 or $20 each month. You pay them, they will put a check to your monthly payments on your credit report. When that term is completed, why I like Self is because when that term is completed and you arrive at $750, you can either get the money back or you can turn that $750 into a credit card. Right? Another option that there is Credit Strong. You guys can see my screen, right? Credit Strong, why I love Credit Strong is because it focuses on the FICO score. This isn't me saying this. This is all an average FICO score 8 increases. This isn't me saying this. This is what they say on their website, right? They have different pricing formats. You can get a revolving line of credit, $15 a month from $1,000 to $10,000. $16 a month, 1,000 to 25,000, right? Or you can get the installment. All right. You guys can take screenshots of this. Rent Reporters.
Hey, can I
Say that again.
No, I had a question.
Go ahead.
Do you recommend this for people that have okay credit to still use that as a credit builder?
Credit builders are fantastic to add on any credit profile. Any credit profile. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now again, you have to know what you're going for. Let's just say if you're thinking, all right, well, does it make sense to go with a line of 1,000 if you already had a $5,000 credit card and you may be overutilized on that 5,000 credit card? Does it make sense to get $1,000 line? Right? It doesn't. You're going to need something more, right? Because your overall utilization is what you're trying to change, right? Meaning that if you have one card that's at 5,000 and now you get another with 25,000, that's going to bring out your average, a higher average amount, which would then bring down, you'll have a higher average on your limit, right? That would then bring down your utilization. Make sense? Another great thing here we can use is Rent Reporters. Rent Reporters is fantastic because if you guys are renting, even if you have a mortgage, you can use Rent Reporters. Why I love Rent Reporters is because if you're dealing with an issue of age, this allows you to backtrack 2 years. Well, how much is it? How much is it? Well, you could do a one-time $9.95, or you can pick these different plans. It's very cheap, right? See, annual, one-time sign-up fee, right? But this allows you to backdate. You're gonna, let's say if you're building off your credit new, maybe you close some accounts and you're starting back over. Well, this is gonna give you 2 years age. How does it work? It connects to your bank account, but there's also like a cheat code that I say with this, because again, everything that I speak about, I used already, right? I've used rent reporters. So what rent reporters do is that they connect to your bank account. But let's say if you were living with a relative and you said, well, my rent is $500 or $200, well, then they're just gonna look for that $200 to withdraw out of your account every month from when you signed up, not in the past, but from when you signed up to the future. So let's just say if you're staying with your cousin Fred, Tom, Bill, whatever, and you're still looking to try to build your credit, well, you can say, hey, look, I'm going to pay you $200 every month. Just give me back my $200, and I'm just going to keep doing it back and forth like that. Make sense? All right, so let me start getting into the icing on the cake. So I just gave you guys four points that we can touch on, right? Oh, I didn't talk about, actually, I gave you three. The next is kickoff. Kickoff does the same as self, right? Kickoff. You can a plan start at $5 a month. No credit check, hidden fees. Every payment that you put towards it, it goes directly to the credit bureaus. They report it, and it goes to all three. Right? They have a $750 line, they have a $250 line, and they have a $3,500 line. Boom. You guys can take your screenshots, right? Now, when we have all of these set up, right? Before I do that, let's say if your credit needs to be repaired, when you're looking at your credit report, simply you want to check the amounts that's owed. You want to make sure that it's the same on all three credit bureaus. You want to check the statuses, make sure the statuses are all aligned on all three credit bureaus, right? You want to make sure the last date of the date that it was opened all have the same time frame. If any of those things are incorrect, it doesn't match on all three credit bureaus, then you're golden for credit repair. You can dispute that for inaccurate items. All right, I just slightly touched on that, but I just wanted to drop that gem on you. So, well then, all right, well, once we position ourselves with our credit, well, how do we register ourselves how do we register our company? Well, we go to a platform that used to be known as InkFile. It is now called Busy. I register all my companies here. You can do LLCs, you can do corporations, you can do S Corps, C Corps, nonprofit, everything. I love this platform because anytime you go to the bank, you're opening your new accounts, all of your files information is going to be here, right? You're going to have all of your documents there. You can also get the folder and all of those different things. Let me see. I can show you one of my business folders. Let me see if you see it here. Right, you can order these. That it's kind of going in and out because it's black, but it's a big like business box thing, right? So now that you positioned your credit correctly, you registered your business, right? Then you're like, okay, well, my credit is good. I've registered my business. Some people may say, hey, well, do I need to like focus on building my credit? Well, that's sort of like a weird thing, right? Because you can get like the Ulines, those like Sam's cards and start focusing on your business credit, but I challenge that and say that it's really not needed. I've been doing funding for a very long time, and none of the lenders ask what's your business credit score. T. Martin and Cheryl, you guys have had businesses for a long time. Have any lenders asked you what's your business credit score?
Nope.
Thank you.
Hey,
So,
but I got a question for you though. So when they ask you for your EIN number, I know there is a credit rating associated with that. So now is that a determining factor from you not being funded if your business credit is not good?
Anytime that you're going to open a new business account and you're seeking capital, which it would always be credit cards if you're going the traditional route. That's just how it's designed. Startup capital is given in credit cards. It will always lean on PG, personal guarantor, right? So that's why the personal credit is always important. They want to know, like, oh, well, have you been showing? Yes, you've designed this business. Fantastic. It's great. It's wonderful. But we still need to know, we have to, when we do this, we have to put our mind in as if we have the money and we're going to lend it out to someone. Well, I need to see, if you're coming to me to ask me for 100,000, I need to see that you can handle this, right? I would imagine that you guys would do the same, right? Because if not, you could give me 100,000 right now, right? Right? So, well, when we have that figured out, you guys didn't like my jokes. Like, what's up, man? Are we here in a crowd of just silence?
You crazy, dog.
So let's say that we have all of that position, and now we tell ourselves, well, I need to find a bank. That's what's going to happen. Well, who am I going to go to? Where am I going to go for this bank? Where am I going to go get this funding? Right? This is a big granddaddy of all questions. Well, this is why we have the internet. We want to be able to know ibanknet.com. Well, why are you going here, Jamal? Why are you going here? Somebody give me a state. What state are you in?
Texas. Let's do Texas.
All right, Texas, a huge state. All right, well, if we look at, well, technically when we start off with credit unions, right? That's where we want to go first because credit unions give out the most money, right? Because they keep their money inside for their members. So credit unions. Which credit union do we see first? You got to see Navy Fed, right?
Navy Fed. All right.
So when I tell people, I say, hey, go open a Navy Fed. It's not just because I'm saying it. It's because it's saying that this bank gives out, they have the most money in deposits, the most money in assets. Because you hear people saying this stuff online. It's not just because it's facts. It's here. It's telling you. So when I tell people, hey, go open a pledge loan, go open a Navy Fed, get it as soon as possible. We're going to get you the money. It's for a reason. They have the most money, right? Then we can go to other banks, credit unions after that. But this is a tool. Again, this is a tool. ibank.net. Well, okay. Let's just see what banks. Let's look for banks. Oh, well, Chase. Oh, Chase. I've heard everyone talking about Chase. It's not because it's just a trending thing. And do not take, this is one thing that I've realized that people may tend to do, is that, hey, Margie, how are you doing?
Nice. Awesome.
This is what I realized that most people tend to do, right? Is that because information is spread online and it may be saturated, people tend to mentally feel like the value isn't there. So when I tell people part of my sequence is like, hey, open a Chase, open a Bank of America. Which bank do we see that's right underneath Chase?
Citigroup.
Before that, what do we see right?
Bank of America.
Bank of America. It's because it's part of my funding sequence because they have the most money, right? See, sometimes people try to overthink and make things complicated, but I'm telling you, this stuff is easy as, I don't know. Well, you try to take candy from my baby, she might try to scream at you, bite at you or something. But you guys get what I'm trying to say, right? It's very simple when you start to think about it. Well, then, all right, well, we see what banks have the most money, but how do we find them? Bank branch locator. Bank branch locator. I'm in Houston, Texas, right? You put in your zip code here. Guys, take the screenshots, all this stuff if you want it, right? All right, you know what? Just because, uh, let's just go to like Iowa. Let's go to Iowa. Margie, where you located, Marjorie? Margie, am I saying it correctly? Matt? You could like curse me out too if you think I'm saying it bad. Okay.
Indiana.
Indiana. Okay. Let's look for in Indiana. Here we go. Indiana. They have 133 banks, 381 cities. Okay, so there's cities here. Should I pick one of these cities where you stay at, or should I just randomly pick one?
I'm in Noblesville, Carmel, Indiana.
Okay, Noblesville, right?
Carmel. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's go to Noblesville. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are in Noblesville, Indiana. Look what banks we
Nothing
see.
there. There's really nothing there.
Well, we see BMO. We see
Yeah.
Chase. Is Chase the top on our priority list?
Yes.
So we go to Chase. We want to open account. We want to season it up. Fifth Third. Fifth Third is actually a bank that's scaling pretty fast. Like they're spreading, they're buying out new banks in all different states. So pay attention to Fifth Third as they grow, right? Huntington Bank, great bank for SBAs. Key Bank, great bank. PNC, great bank. There's some beautiful banks here that we can make some money with. So, well, how do we position that? How do we figure out where to go? Well, this is where a funding sequence comes into play, right? There's going to be like some research on your end, right? My time is limited here, but you want to figure out, all right, well, which banks pull from which credit bureau, right? So then you position yourself and go to each bank. And here's the thing, you want to have all of this done in preparation.
I don't think Huntington's that great.
Say that again?
I don't think Huntington's the one. It's not that great. Huntington Bank, not that great.
Oh, they're not great?
No.
Yeah, I don't know if they're great for certain things, but I know they're good as far as like with the SBAs. Have you ever applied for SBA through Huntington?
I have not. I've never applied for one, period.
Yeah. So they're great just specifically for that. That's what I use them for, SBAs. Yeah. So you want to create yourself a sequence, meaning that all right, this bank pulls from TransUnion, this bank pulls from Equifax, this bank pulls from Experian. And then apply as such. You open the bank accounts, you position yourself, you open the bank accounts, and all of this is assuming that your credit score is already built, you registered your business, you open the bank accounts, and you season those bank accounts, meaning that you build a relationship, you put some deposits in there, and then you apply. Right? Now, I have this great tool. I just want to drop it in the chat here for you all here. Let me take a look here. This is gonna I'm gonna drop a group in the chat. This is the group where you guys can all join in. There's free information in the group, right? There's also tons of like-minded individuals in there. One second, I'm looking for this. You know what, let me see if I can find it for you. But in the meantime,
click the link for the group. I want you guys to join the group. So you always have connection to me. How many of you have thought of like question, how do you automate a business? Has anyone thought of that? One second here. So this is a CRM that I think everyone should have when it comes to automating any business. It's called High Level. It won't let me click the link. It wouldn't let you click the link. Just try to post it in there again. That's interesting. If you can, what am I looking for? I'm looking for the game changer. This here. If you guys have ever thought to yourself, here's the secret weapon. That's what I'm gonna call it. If you guys have ever felt that it's like, well, okay, before I say that, if you've ever tried to get funding before, have you guys recognized that most funding companies may charge 10%, 12%, or 15%? Has anyone ever experienced that? Anyone?
MWSN.
I'm sorry? Well, what I've dropped in the chat, oh, you don't understand the question. So in the funding industry, when people go get other businesses or entrepreneurs funding, their service fee would be 10% success fee. That tends to become burdensome. It may seem appropriate when you're in need of the capital and someone can help you acquire that capital, but sometimes it becomes daunting when it's like, hey, well, I've received 50,000 and then I have to pay 10% to that person. Well, technically that isn't 0% interest free. So this tool, remember, tools are very important. A wise man once said, when we are done with all of the tools, what do we do when we have succeeded? We pass on the tools. I'm passing on a tool to you guys here. If you look in the chat, this tool would allow you to input your credit information. It would ask you some of your business information, and it will give you a funding sequence. Let me say that again to you guys. This tool that I put in the chat, and I want you guys to click it. It says Business Funding Intelligence Intake. What you're going to be able to do is upload your information, your credit information, your bank relationships. Who do you bank with? It's then going to give you a 4-step positioning system. The 4 steps is going to give you the actual banking sequences. I don't think you guys get that. Can someone come off of mute and just express the thought, just to make sure that I'm not the only one that's excited about this tool? All right. Well, I'll call out Lynn. What do you think about this tool?
It looks like a potential moneymaker.
Ah, okay. This tool here, again, simplified. When it comes down to any business, you want things to be simple. This tool allows it to be very simple. I want you guys to click on that. Check the tool. All you do is input your information. You no longer have to pay someone 10%. If you decide to do that, that's okay. You can still do that. Maybe you're afraid. Maybe you're too busy in your business. But this tool is going to give you the steps. This tool is going to give you the steps so that you can acquire $100,000 to $250,000 in startup capital for your business. And it doesn't only have to be startup capital. If you have a new relationship with a bank, it will explain that too, that, hey, you can go to this bank, you can go to this bank. How much money should you put in it, right? To then get how much you're looking for. When I figured this out, this is a golden ticket. See, when I got into the funding industry, we had to pay $25,000. We had to pay $10,000, $15,000. Margie, you don't understand the question. Maybe that was an old one. So I guess I'll just talk on the tool, right? These tools weren't there for us before. We had to depend on other people and their knowledge. But now this tool is here to provide you with the steps. I saw that, Margie. So take advantage of this tool. Did anyone get a chance to take a look at the tool as yet? Oh, okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah. I want you guys to save that. Save that link to your phone. Save the link to the group in your phone as well. Utilize it. Utilize it. This is a positioning system. You know how to repair your credit. You know how to register your business. You know how to go find the banks. And that 4-step capital, that tool would give you the 4-step, which banks to go to, how much to put in. It will give you all of that information. So you know, oh, I'm going here. I'm going here. Now I'm going to get this money. Right? Now, if you're not in positions like that, then you're going to fall into the size of, well, now we have to look for alternative lending. And we don't want to put you in that position. We want to position you to get the right funding. Why is it great? Because it's 0% interest for 12 to 18 months, depending on which institution it is. Right? This knowledge, this train of thought is becoming popularized, but there's still so many people that are so unfamiliar with this information. I just worked with a business owner. He has a franchise. He bought a franchise. He has a couple stores, right? So he's very successful business-wise, right? Like, you know, he has a couple stores in Houston, Texas. This is where I reside, in Houston, Texas. His business generates a couple millions, right? But himself, he did not know that credit cards and 0% interest was there. And then some people may think, well, it's a credit card. Can I spend it? There's liquidation companies that would liquidate the money off of those cards for you. There is liquidation companies that would liquidate. I can get you guys $150,000 a loan from Chase. $150,000 a loan from Chase. You can liquidate $150,000, and in that 12 months, your monthly payment will only be 1%. Now, after the 12 months, it goes up. But you have 12 months to invest in your business, even if you wanted to step out of it, you want to go get some properties, right? That's what I notice a lot of my people that work with me, they want to start investing in like building new properties. I'm here in Houston, so a lot of those companies are like building up now. I mean, sorry, like people are building up like new development, new build constructions is a pretty popular thing here, right? This is what this allows you to do. See, I've also come to realize that people tend to hold themselves back from really going after the things that they want. The things that they truly desire, and it may not necessarily be their fault because they may not be aware of it. But I'm going to demystify all of that now. See, when we think about things that we want to accomplish for ourselves, the thing that holds us back is the thing that we subconsciously focus on. So I challenge everyone to say that everyone that wants to do something, they know what it takes to accomplish that thing, but they realize that, man, that's going to take a lot of work, and then they don't do it. Everything before that seems great, and then they hit a realization, but hey, this may cost this amount, or this may require so much time, that then they only focus on the problem. This is why the mind state, we have to start off with that, right? We have to start to see where are we running into our roadblocks in our mind that we form for our own thoughts. Now this, again, that link is going to give you the steps. So any and everyone that's here, if you're positioned the right way, you should be taking advantage of that and going to get the capital that you need. Because if you're not in position, then you end up seeing a very similar guy like myself, and will still offer you a alternative lending position. But you just need it's better because it's cash that gets directly injected into your business, but the money costs more. The money is more expensive, right?
Absolutely.
Do you have you had an experience with the alternative lending space?
I have. I also work with great banks, but I have also been in a situation where I've had to take a last minute cash advance, which is not fun to do. But then I have great banks that I also work with, but I've been on both sides of the fence. The cash advance is good if you know how to manage that and you can get it paid off quickly. But if you're not good at managing that, I call it suicide.
Yeah, it is.
Because it just keeps building up and building up and building up, and then you're stuck with it, and you got that coming out daily or weekly or biweekly or however, because with cash there is no monthly option. So you
There
have
you go.
to really manage your money wisely and hope that the money that you got up front, because they always want to give you this bullshit that, oh, hey, you're going to get all this money. And no, you need to know how to manage that money, and that money better make you money quickly. And if it doesn't, don't do it.
100%. 100%. Then the only way out of that is to get a second position. It's like, oh man, well, I need another one, a second position, right? Another loan to pay off the first.
That's right. Right. And that, I mean, it happens, and you see this because that's all that's out there is these cash advances, or, and people are like, well, and you have all the sharks out there telling you, oh, no, this is a monthly. And then by the time you get through all of it, they're like, oh no, we can't do the monthly, but you got to prove for this, and it's going to cost you this. It's everywhere. And you just got to be really careful, because that money is going to cost you a lot of money. If you're going to borrow $20,000, you're going to pay $50,000 back. And that's a suicide. It's stupid.
Yeah.
People do it every day because they can't get loans. They don't know
Exactly.
how to get loans. They don't know how to get, and I don't care unless you're a huge corporation and you've got, it set up, they're still going to use your personal credit score, your personal everything to get those big loans for your business until you get to a place where you don't have to worry about that anymore, and that's just the beauty of it. You just got to know, either educate yourself or find someone who's educated to educate you or to work. And, if you have those cash advances loans, you've got to find someone to help you get out of them because it
Yes.
will kill your business.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for that feedback. Because
It's real. I mean, I've had them before, but I did okay because I knew how to manage my money quickly. But I also can go to, I've got a great loan with a great bank too.
right.
I've got a personal line credit with a great bank
Yeah.
that's a monthly payment, and it's great. The interest rate is perfect. Not everybody can do that, but so that's why they get desperate and they do these cash advance loans because it sounds good at the time. You're like, okay, well, I can figure it out later. Well, if you can't manage money, you're not going to figure it out later. You're going to lose everything you have.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is why, oh man, I appreciate that feedback. And this is coming from experience. So the things that I'm talking about, right? There's
Right.
experience in the room that can verify what I'm speaking on.
Right.
Right. Now, if you aren't, all right, this is a part that most people aren't also aware of. This is what actually those cash advance was actually designed for. This, and I'm going to paint the scenario because now it's going to make sense, but it's not presented in that manner. But let's say if you're in a business where you have so much inventory, right? And the inventory is at a huge discount,
Right.
then it makes sense to say, hey, well, I can get that capital because now I have all of this inventory at a discount. I'm not using my money. I'm going to then resell that inventory for a higher amount, which now it oversees the interest.
Right.
Right. Now that's
Well,
that's
but
the
it depends
position.
on the business. It depends
Right.
on the model of your business and what you have coming in, whether you're retail, sports complex, corp, whatever you are.
Yeah.
Sometimes people, if they have 100 grand coming in a month and they need a fast 20,000, 30,000 for that day or whatever, so they're not, pulling from their accounts, and you've got that money coming in. Because I think some of these loans, cash advances, if you pay them off, you're not going to pay all that high interest. You might pay a little bit of it, but you're not going to pay the full percentage of it. Like I said, it's a different model for every business that you have. And with me, I have different businesses. So for me, I can play Russian roulette with some of it, and some of it I know I can't. So I don't risk it.
Yeah.
And it just depends on cash flow. Can you do this? And it can be a good cash flow if you manage it and you don't mismanage the money. You can just pay it off. But some people just aren't disciplined and they get in trouble, and then they take another one out and another one, and then they have 7 cash advances out, and then they're screwed and they're done.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I've watched people do it all the time.
Yeah.
But it is possible if you have that money coming in, you can flush all that out, pay it off, be done, move on. If you need it for that week to buy something that's gonna make your revenue come in more than what it is, because if you don't, then you're kind of screwed.
Right. Yeah. So that's why positioning yourself, and even I mentioned to people, like, because there's always like this gray area, like it's like, oh well, does my business need funding right away? Do I have time to survive, to float a bit? Or
Right.
if when you get that capital, I always recommend like, hey, focus on like get someone to help you with your credit, right? Because then
Credit's important. I mean, if you have a lot of money, if you are really wealthy, people don't give a shit about your credit because you don't need it. You don't need it because you're not going to use it. You're going to use your money. You're going to have your own banking. You're going to have everything. You don't need it. I happen to be in a family where they can do that. I try not to pigtail off of that. I like to do my own thing, my own independency. But they have, they can do that. They don't have to worry. I mean, I know I'm not saying they don't have good credit. I'm just saying they don't worry about their personal credit because they don't need it.
Yeah.
Because the corporation makes so much money that they don't care. They don't owe anybody any money. They're their own bank.
Yeah.
So, it just is how you put it. It depends on the business, the model of your business, and where you set yourself up, and how you put, it's just all a game. It's a game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it or not, I call it a game, and it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
So
I mean, I agree 1000%. And that's why I think it's very important to like,
credit's important. If you don't have a lot of money, your credit is important.
yeah. And we need to be having way more conversations like this, right?
It
Like,
is. And the thing is, people, you can call people and they're going to go, to me, if someone said, oh, well, I can get you a trade line. Let me get you a
right.
trade line on a card, bump your credit up. I'm going to
Yeah.
charge you $4,000 to get a trade line. No, take that $4,000 and pay down your debt.
Yes.
I don't,
Yes.
and I look at him like, well, are you crazy? No, pay your debt down with that $4,000. Why would you pay someone for a temporary 3 months on a trade? Like, oh, I'm gonna, you can use this card has this much years on it and this much on it. Do this, pay me $4,000. People buy into that. And I'm like, you paid them how much? Why didn't you pay your debt down?
Yeah.
But they know they buy that and they just keep doing that when they could have paid off their credit debt.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen it all. Trust me. I've been in business for a long time. I've made a lot of bad mistakes. I've learned a lot from my bad mistakes. And, I'm still learning. I'm still growing,
Yeah. And I appreciate this, your feedback and your honesty, because it's all true.
It
It's
is
all
true.
It's
It
all
will. If you don't
100%
know
true.
what you're doing and you get in with someone and because they are sharks out there, they will swindle and you will get your ass kicked. So just be smart and get some advice from people. I'm telling you right now.
Absolutely.
I know when I hear I get them a call every day and I just laugh. I'm like, look, no.
Yeah.
But I get it. I mean, credit is it's up and down, up and down, up and down. And that's the bad thing about everything's so dependent on credit. But it's also dependent on if you have a great reputation with your bank. How long have you been with your bank? I've been with my bank for 15, 20 years. It's all about repetition and your credit and your trustworthiness. And it's not sometimes just depending on the bank. If it's a big bank, yes, they're going to be like, oh, no, they have to go through the channel. Some of these smaller banks that also, every board member and you've got the credibility, they will work with you.
Yeah.
If you have that repetition, a great repetition, but a lot of people don't.
Right.
So you just got to get into a bank and get a relationship built with these people. And people don't do that. They just keep screwing themselves over and starting over, man. You just can't keep starting over every time.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would like to present an offer to you guys, right? Thank you guys for being here. I just want to take this time just to present an offer while I have you guys here. I offer a mentorship for 12 months where I teach you how to repair your credit, how to start a credit repair company. I teach you how to get funding, how to start a funding company. I also teach you how to fully automate your business, right? With a software that I use, you would have control of your whole data. So how does that process look? If you were to
And everyone here has went through that process where you went online, you filled out a form, then you're being contacted by the business, which is offering their services, or they're educating you. They may do webinars, but then when they have promotions coming up, you're always being followed up with that business. This is a system that you can implement into any and every one of your businesses here, right? Galaxy S26. I didn't get to introduce, say hello. How you doing?
Hello, how you doing? How's everything? I'm sorry. My name is Anthony. I'm actually the owner of
This
Brown Lake.
this is one of my partners right here. I've
Yes.
been trying to get him on this damn call. Welcome.
Well, Anthony, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you here, right?
Thank you. Yes.
I know you may have seen like the tail end of it, right? So if you guys happen to like randomly see messages from me, this is just what I do weekly, right? So you guys can always jump in and just give your feedback. And I just like to deliver value to the people, right? So you may just, and I only do it once a week, right? Like you may just get a message once a week. You could ignore it. You could, come in, chime in, give value like Margie did, right? Like that's absolutely incredible, right? It only validates what I do on my day to day as a funding specialist, right? And I also present the offer for people who are establishing a new business and need to automate that business, right? So inside of my mentorship, I offer you your business. I help you build out your business. Let me give you an example of what that would look like, right? I just want to show you guys inside. Sorry, one second. I just want to give you guys an example, right? Let's go. I'm gonna give you an example into my funding company, right? And you can take this and can you see the website? Are you guys able to see it?
Yes, sir. We can see it.
Okay. So
Yes.
just thank you. Just envision this being your business, whichever it is, right? This is my funding company, right? There's a form to pre-qualify. There's other questions. Once that information is retained, then my reps would reach out to you. You fill out an application. We offer you the funding that would be best for your business. If a business owner has time, that's always the best position to be in, right? It sucks when a business owner comes to my company and they're saying, oh, well, I need this capital by the end of the week or next 2 weeks. Then that doesn't allow us time to position them to be in the best position, because I always want to get a business 0% interest, right? It helps my relationship with the banks. But most business owners, they come when the time is like not in the best position, right? So we have all of those different options. If a business has the time, hey, okay, well, let's position you correctly. If it's not, then hey, I also have those relationships with the alternative lenders, but I give a strategy with it, right? A strategy, because to me that's most important. Because I'm going to give you an example. If your business needs 15,000 right now, and your personal credit score is lower, most of the times the credit score is low because they're overutilized. My challenge would say, hey, well, if you're overutilized, let's say if it's 5,000, you have like $5,000 that you need to pay off. Sorry, $5,000 that you need to pay off on a personal credit side. I would say, hey, let's shoot for 20,000. Take 5,000, pay off your personal debts, and use the 15 for your business. Then now once we have that utilization down low, then let's go to the banks and get the 0% interest and pay off that short-term revenue funding. See, it's all about strategies. And when you're working with someone that cares about the growth of your business, they should be thinking for that, the growth of your business, because the relationship is gonna last a very long time. As your business grows, I need to have a relationship with a successful business, because for your business to scale, you're always gonna need more capital. And I would like to be that person to provide you with that capital just through my relationships. So it only benefits me to put that business or business owner in the right position. But sometimes time plays a very tricky, it becomes tricky with that. So let's just say if this is your business, right? Someone fills out the form, then, well, how, right? Even if they try to get off, it's a pop-up. Well, what happens when we collect that information, right? We also have it connected to all of the social medias. Again, this is the CRM that runs all of these, like all of the business, right? See, it's connected to all social, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of your business accounts. You can all post from here, right? You put it in its schedule. You see all of these dates. Those will publish posts, right? Automations. This is another huge part, right? When someone comes in and they sign that form, well, what process would you want to make automated so that you can make the workload very easy on your employees, right? So let's just say, let's just say someone comes into I'm going to my lending company workflow, right? So say someone fills out that form, right, that we saw on the website. Well, they need to receive an automatic message. Now, again, just plug in any business that you have in your mind, right? And follow with this. So even if you sell clothes, if you sell cars, if you're a restaurant, whichever sort of like business you have, right? When they fill out that form, then they're gonna get a message. So this is just an SMS. Hey, it's Jay, your senior funding specialist, right? Then it waits for them to reply. If they reply yes, do they get this message? Do they get a follow-up message? Well, what happens if they don't message? Then it sends them to manual call. What if they don't respond right away to that first message? Well, then they're going to get another message the following day. And you just have to automate the entire process, right? So you're controlling how someone responds, how they interact with your business. So by the time they get to someone on the phone, they have either done most of the things. So just to give you an example, for the funding industry, right? What we're going to need is qualification forms to be filled out. So they'll receive a message like, hey, contact first name to speed up the process. Please complete the qualification form as our rep gets ready to contact you. Here's the link to the form. Just fill it out, write your name and email. It would autofill. Then once that's done, then they can upload their bank statements. They also receive it in an email. The same thing that we just spoke about, right? You automate the entire process before a manual call happens. All of this can be done in any business. Now, I offer all of this in the entire mentorship for $5,000, right? I'm going to be with your business for an entire year, helping you build out your entire business. You build out your entire business, and I've made this very easy to enter. The total cost is $5,000, but there's entry points. You can get in at $500 a month. That's the link that I just put up there. Let me just make sure that's the correct link. With that $500, you're getting access to all of the course materials. And I should also show you the course materials inside of there. Let me show you guys what's inside of it, because most people may speak about the their material, their courses, but they don't show you what's actually inside of it. So I challenge that, and I show you guys what's inside of it first, right? So we have all different materials here, right? So fast track funding, funding approval accelerators, all of these SOP kits. This is the actual, and again, this stuff isn't just like PDFs. These are step by step, and I'm gonna give you a preview. Step by step, me walking you through, hey, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Right? Now, let me just give you like a quick intro. So you see, I want you guys to see, like, all of these are videos. This isn't just a bunch of PDFs. This is me walking through every single detail, right?
Right.
Also showing you how to optimize your social media, right? Showing you how to set up your documents in your business so that you can send out your documents.
So this is example.
How to automate your businesses. I'm walking you through the steps.
So
I'm just skimming through here so you can see some of the details that's in it.
They can literally come in.
Right? Again, this isn't just like PDFs. I'm not just how to set up your calendars for your Zoom meetings, right? You can use Calendly or Zoom. I'm showing you the different price options, how to set it up.
The name of it.
What if you wanted to hire VAs in your company? I'm showing you where to go, how to hire VAs in your company.
Going on? Humble
Look,
Facts,
I'm walking you through it.
Ring Central, FTC.
There's so much more inside of here. So much more, right? There's literally about 28 modules inside of this entire thing.
So
1 second, let me pause this there because it's going to keep playing.
Continue and keep it rolling. What I'm going to touch on specific.
So I've just given you an insight to the course material inside of there. This is just the funding, right? I also have the same for the credit repair, right? We also have this in the community. When you guys join in the community, right? All you have to do is go to the learning tab. In the learning tab, I'm bringing it up for you guys so you can all see it inside of the community. And all of this, when you join the mentorship, everything that I'm showing you here, you will be able to do, because we position you as a coach. See, it's all in here. It's all in here, right? We even start you off with some free information. So let's say if you're like, well, I'm really just looking, I may not want the hands-on approach, but I can do a lot with just the materials by itself without me being there to help build out your business. You can enter for $9.99, and after paying Klarna allows you to get in for $249 for 4 payments over 3 to 24 months. Okay? I'm going to drop this link in here too as well. We've made this entry barrier 100% easy. I'm going to be with you to help you scale and build your business. Let me just get back here. Okay. How many people think that automating their business would help their business grow?
100% agree.
Okay. Tommy, what are you looking for in a mentor? From a mentorship, what is it that you're looking for?
Really automating a business is something that's complex in today's society. You know what I'm saying? And when you can attend to be a part of your, inside the business 24/7. So with
Mhm.
those tools that you have offered, man, that's something that is key that I need right now. Learning how to automate the business. So that's something that's key for me in mentorship right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So Tommy has a beautiful clothing line, ladies and gentlemen, right? His fashion is like pretty fantastic, as you can see from the pictures, right? He's been on here a couple times with us, and I'm grateful to have him and I'm grateful for everyone in the room to even speak on their experiences too as well. So Tommy, for you, what I've dropped the first link, right, is the 500. I think I just pasted that again. Oh no, that's the wrong one. I can't even undo it. Let me just go back. All these links are popping up now. Oh, nope. Oh wait, it's this one. I could just copy that. There we go. So what's I want to just keep building with you, Tommy, right? Like we've had a discussion before and you've made a decision that you're moving forward today, right?
Yes, sir.
I want you to because taking this move, this is going to position you to be in a complete different position. The things that we're going to go over, that I'm going to be with you, like we're going to be on Zooms weekly. I'm going to help you build out your business. Right? I'm going to help you build out your business. Right?
All right.
What was that deciding factor that made you say like, hey, you know what? Like, besides just like the money, right? What was it like made you feel like, hey, you know what? The time is now.
When you see a lot of people offering these type of services, right? But I actually met you in person, my dog, and that's something that was key. And then your consistency every week with offering, and just spending this knowledge. It's like I grew a great bond with you, a trusted bond with you, and to know that you're not just a quote unquote guru, right? And a lot of the knowledge that you're speaking is facts. I feel it. I feel like it's genuine, and beyond just feelings, man. The services itself. I'm in a position right now. I've been in business for a few years. So when you're talking about assisting a person with business funding, then teaching them the game on how to actually uh, have a business funded company, that's key. Teaching the person about lines of credit or credit, right? Building credit. I'm in a position right now to where that's key for me too. So when you ask me that first question, like what is it that you're looking for within a mentor? Uh, I mean, you done checked off all of my boxes, bro. You know what I mean? You done checked off all of the boxes. Like watching you for almost a month now, it's like this key that this guy's, my mentor that is needed right now. Uh, I don't even. I'd be speaking for 20 minutes, man. I done told so many people about you, my dog. So it's like, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Even this, almost, a little bit over an hour meeting, has sold me because there was so much game that you gave away today. So that's all, my dog.
Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And I take that with as much importance and respect, right? I know the position that I play and that I would hold in your business. The dollar amount does not equal to the amount of money that you would generate from an online business. I'm gonna show you how. I want you guys to let's detach from any ideology of the cost of this offer. When I started this webinar today, I mentioned to you that it's easy to make a lot of money. It's hard to make a little bit of money. This that I'm doing, this is just part-time. This is just leisure, right? Like I love to talk to you guys, right? I love to talk to you guys. This isn't, by the way, this isn't like me spending money on ads or anything. And I proudly say that. I proudly say that. This isn't, you guys haven't seen, this isn't from ads. You guys are here from just like being a part of my system. How we may have met, we may not even know, but it didn't come from ads. And again, I want you guys to be aware of this, right? Because that alone speaks volumes. Also with the consistency of showing up, it's important. But when I say that it's easy to make a lot of money, everyone here has a business. And again, I'm going to say it. Everyone here has a skill that they have been doing for a very long time that you can create an online presence. Position yourself as the coach because you've been doing it for so long. I'm comfortable doing this because I've been in the funding space for over 5 years. I've been funding companies that make little money, companies that make a lot of money. I've helped people repair their credits. I've helped people got SBA loans. I've done so much. I've done HELOCs, DSCRs, right? I've helped people get that capital before the construction bills. I've helped people liquidate their cards to accomplish their goals. This is where I get my confidence comes from my experience and all of the actions that I've taken in my business. And all I've decided to do is just put it in a digital form. And this is what all of you guys here would be doing. And now how do you make a lot of money easy? It's by creating that product. That product is very easy. $5,000 times 200 people is $1 million. $5,000 times 200 people is $1 million from a digital product. I ask you guys, do you think that you can create a digital product from your knowledge that you've already been doing constantly, meet with people once a week, and accomplish $1 million on a part-time basis? I'm just here just extra time. I could have like ended this meeting already. But I want you guys to start to think it's easy to make a lot of money than it's hard to make a little bit of money. I've been automating businesses before I've been in the funding space. It just became the perfect storm. That's all it did. It just became the perfect storm. So if you have a skill that or a knowledge that something that you've been doing for a very long time that comes so easy to you, let's create a digital product for you and you generate a lot of money in a short period of time. Part-time. This isn't taking all of your time. This is part-time. Everything's automated. You're going to hire VAs at $5. What do I pay my VAs? I pay them like $500 a month. And that's a very good living for the VAs in Philippines. Right? So that is it for me for today. I'm going to let you all go. I want to thank everyone here joining in. Right? Tommy, you have the link. Lynn, it was a pleasure. T. Martin, it was a pleasure. Galaxy, it was a pleasure. Do you guys have anything that you want to say? Anything that you want to ask before we disperse? Come on, Martin. Say something to me, Martin. Say something to me, Martin.
I think my thing, because I run 4 businesses, and and maybe we can talk about the automated piece of it, but it is about to couple with the young man. I'm a fashion designer also, so I make tailor-made suits and stuff, and maybe we can collaborate on some stuff uh as well, because I also manufacturing companies that make my suits, and so I deal with a lot of celebrities and stuff. So I can definitely help him, give him some game on that as far as being in this network. And I definitely think it's important, how do we monetize these relationships as well, being in these circles. So now we can grow together, just not one dimensionally also.
100%, man. Drop your email and phone number, dog, please.
Yep, I
Yeah.
sure will. Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
making suits for probably, I've had clothing store for probably the last 30 years, so yeah, and I'll send you some of my work.
Where are you located?
I'm in Minneapolis. I'm in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but these are the spaces, though. I think, man, where with the information that you've given us, how do we as a
You cut
team,
off
how
there
do we
just now.
come together? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. I think the space that you're creating, Mr. Moore, is great, and not just one dimensionally. I think, like you said, we can grow together as in terms of our business, helping one another create more revenue streams for one another. Also, especially if someone has that area of expertise. So I really thank you for the information that you dropped, man, because I've been in the financial space a
Absolutely.
long time,
Absolutely. I thank
and
you for being here. I thank you for
you're
being here.
very knowledgeable, and I appreciate your gift that you're sharing with us also.
Yeah. Join the group. Join the group. So we be in contact on a closer base. I'm gonna just repost the group there. Join the group. Right. Lynn. Lynn Wright.
Yes, sir.
It was an. Is there anything you like the experience tonight?
I was very interested in that tool that you had that was showing the onboarding for the business lending. I'm interested in learning more about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you were you able to take a look at it?
I was not. Was there a link in the chat for that?
Yeah, I'll put the link back. You're talking specifically about the one that spits out the 4-step system that gives you the funding sequence.
Correct. Yes.
Yep. I just put it in the chat. I want you to take it. It says funding intelligence intake.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. I want to thank you, Lynn, for coming. You've been a great sport too as well.
Absolutely. Well,
And
we appreciate the good information. Lots of good information here that you're presenting, and I appreciate that.
absolutely. Well, thank you very much. And Tommy, you're okay over there?
I'm all good, my dog. You gonna see everything come through in a few minutes.
All right, not a problem. So thank you for everyone here. We're gonna disperse. And if you guys, you're more than welcome next week, or if not, I'll see you the next time. All right.
All right, bro. Thanks.
Have a good one.
Thank you.